everyone else that does not like the Astros talks about cheating, you can all shut the fuck up.
All the narratives are buried.
Right here.
Hose man.
Houston, your World Series champions in 2022. This is Beyond the Diamond Podcast, World Series reaction. ApolloDez, producer Josh, Brian LaLima, we're all here, and we are amped, pumped. The city is electric. Your Houston Astros are World Series champions once again. Boys, how we feeling? Let's just get into it. How we feeling?
How
Exhausted.
sweet it is. 2-time champs, 4-time pennant champs. It's a dynasty. I didn't want to say the word, but you could officially say the Houston Astros are a dynasty, or a dynasty, some would say. And it was well earned. I think 11-2, arguably you're one of the greatest teams ever. The way they won games, whether they wanted it to be a shootout or a one-run game or whatever it was, they found ways. And it was a testament to this team. It was testament to the culture, like we always say, and the mindset of like this team was different, and they showed that. Years past, when you were down one run late in the games, you would have been like, well, this one's over, this one's shot. And then this team is just like, who's going to step up and be the hero? Because someone is going to step up and be the hero. And Jordan sent one to a place where I've never seen but baseballs go at Minute Maid Park. Just obviously the moment in the home run and all that, but to do it dead central above the batter's eye. Wow.
If you've ever stood there and looked at home plate, you just like, nobody's ever going to hit a ball up here.
It's unfathomable. It legit is. That's why they put like seats out there, like dining room seats, like to eat.
You know the ball that he hit up to right field up in the upper deck, and they painted the seat orange to recognize where it landed?
Yes.
Like that ball was hit far, but the baseball he hit last night was like obliterated, and it went to a place that I have never seen before in my life. You remember when they had the Taos Hill, right, at Minute Maid Park? And that, I think at that point it was like 336 to dead center with the hill. I was in, I don't know, middle school, I think, and I watched Sammy Sosa hit one dead center there, and I thought, oh my God, like no one will ever be able to do that again. And then Jordan hit one 450 feet up over the batter's eye. I don't think I've ever seen a ball hit that far. I've seen balls hit up on the tracks. I've seen balls hit off the glass. I was there when Jordan hit his up into the upper deck into right field. I've watched a ball that almost hit the damn Jumbotron in right field. But what he did last night, like
that was Richie Sexton territory.
Yeah, like Richie Sexton. That's another a good name drop right there.
What a callback.
Did you write that down?
Negative.
Okay. Just what he did, dude, like it was insane. And then look who added an insurance run. Christian Vasquez. Big time trade deadline acquisition. He gets to be the DH because Yuli got hurt. He couldn't play game 6. Corey Lee is added to the World Series roster. Friend of the program.
Friend of the program, Corey Lee.
Friend of the program, Corey Lee. Gets added
World Series champion, Corey Lee.
Corey Lee. As a catcher, so that allows Dusty to put Christian Vasquez in at the DH role. Comes up in a big spot. Bregman scampers home on the RBI single from Christian Vasquez. Framber Valdez did what Framber Valdez does. Hey,
wow.
Kudos to Zach Wheeler.
Pitched his tail off.
Dude was throwing
99.
Better. I don't know what they filled him up with, but goddamn, dude.
I need one of those right now to get me through this week.
Yeah. Whatever he was on last night, give me that and more. Dude was chunking, and it was a pitcher's duel up until the 5th inning or 6th inning. There was nothing going on.
I think the Phillies just kind of ran into the problem that the Houston Astros ran into the problem with the Braves. They just ran out of pitching. You had a few amount of arms you could go to, and that was kind of it. And over a 7-game series, I say it time and time again, you give these Astros opportunities to look at them, they're going to find ways. And they got to Alvarado, and they stayed on Alvarado. And anytime you burn Alvarado and Sir Anthony that early, and like you said, Wheeler was shoving. I mean, Jesus, the guy was empty to take at 98, 99.
Yeah.
But I This team has been different. It's been a different vibe all year. And the scary, great thing about it, and the league should be scared that 95% of this team comes back next year.
Yeah.
You just have to make hard decisions if you want Justin Verlander to come back. Obviously, Yuli said he wanted to keep playing. Brantley wants to keep playing. Like, so other than those decisions, everyone's back. Your two-time champion third baseman's back. Your all-world rookie World Series MVP is back.
Give it up for Jeremy Pena.
I mean,
God.
Yeah.
Can you? That's amazing.
Yeah, I think there's not enough ways to describe what we saw from Jeremy Pena this October. I mean, literally, there are not enough adjectives to describe. There were things that he did that weren't flashy that go unnoticed, like extending innings at the plate, passing the bat to the next guy, playing sound defense, quality defense.
That first inning, that little slide to the slide.
Yes.
Because off two-way backhands, he's not going to have enough umph to make that play. To spin, pop up, and get rid of it. Like, what?
Yeah,
he
man.
shouldn't be making those plays. He shouldn't.
Right.
And he makes them time and time again.
And I know we're going to, later on this week, we're going to dive into more of like a recap and kind of look at, things after the parade and what we look forward to this offseason. But here are just some quick names that are going to be free agents this year, or this coming offseason. Aledmus Diaz, Yuli Gurriel, Christian Vasquez, Rafael Montero, Jason Castro, Michael Brantley. Justin Verlander has a player option. Will Smith has a club option. And Trey Mancini has a mutual option. So Rafael Montero is literally your only name in question from the staff. Think about that.
Yeah.
This whole pitching staff is coming back.
Better. Matured. Learn from stuff. Like, they're just gonna get better.
Imagine how Hunter Brown's gonna do next year after all this experience.
Oh my God. Yeah. Can you imagine Brian Abreu in an everyday fireman role?
Did y'all see Brian Abreu's stats?
Dude, hold on. You know who he was? He was Mariano Rivera. But at 100 miles an hour. That's what he was.
Here,
it was filth.
Let me read these stats real quick. Brian Abreu in the postseason, 10 games, not one earned run given up. He has a 0 ERA, 11 and a third innings pitched, 19 strikeouts, and a whip of .71. Listen to these. Like, dude, when you go through these stats, it is insane.
Games were over in the 6th inning.
Brian Abreu, Rafael Montero, and Ryan Presley combined 33 and 2/3 innings pitched, .53 ERA. Literally, the game was over after the 6th inning. Here's my last stat.
Big stat guy.
The pitching statistics per series. Let's look at the DS against Seattle. Pitching staff, 2.25 ERA, 39 strikeouts, 36 innings pitched. The CS against the Yankees, 1.5 ERA, 50 strikeouts, 36 innings pitched. The World Series against Philly, 2.83 ERA, 71 Ks, 54 innings pitched. A total of 2.29 ERA, 160 Ks, 126 innings pitched. The bullpen throughout the postseason, 0.83 ERA, 70 Ks, 23 hits, 54 and a third innings pitched.
Amazing.
We can give all the kudos in the world to Jeremy Pena for being the AL CS MVP and the World Series MVP. But after reading that, and we said it 1,000 times. The reason this team got to the postseason, got to the World Series, back to the World Series, was because of their pitching and their defense. And everything that I just read shows why they are the World Series champions.
Yep.
It's insane.
Speaking of that Mariano Rivera comp, I was looking at Mariano Rivera's postseason stats all time, and he pitched 141 innings at a .70 ERA in the postseason. Jeez. So basically, this postseason, we had a whole bullpen of Mariano Rivera, essentially.
Crazy.
I think also the fans and everyone that was at the game or around the stadium celebrating, like, the energy from my perspective 20,000 miles away in fucking Cancun, was different. It wasn't that country club atmosphere.
It was way better.
Way different.
This game.
Yeah, it was different.
And so, shout out to everyone. Like, I know the guys noticed that. I 100% know they did, and to be able to, for the next year until there's a new champion crown, you're the champs until you get dethroned. And so, talk your shit. Talk your shit. And
now I'm realizing we missed an opportunity to post that seismograph after Jordan's home run.
Oh, we could run it back. We could do a little callback. No, we can do it on Thursday, a little throwback Thursday.
Yeah, you can say breaking news. The
From NASA.
seismograph
We
was
should
just
post that.
released.
Yeah. No, but to your point, this isn't the end. I mean, we're talking about this being a dynasty, like for the last 6 years, but they could go off. They could win the next 3 or next 2.
I mean, they're going to be the betting favorites to repeat.
Oh yeah, 100%. And look, it's hard to repeat. It's hard to win, but this team's still set up for a lot of success through the 2020s. And I know it's been a weird start to the Roaring 20s and just globally, but I think this is what the Great Gatsby was all about with the Roaring 20s, because it's about to get fun here in Houston, Texas, and I think it starts with some of that badass new merch. Is that a new shirt, Josh? What is that? I can't see from my house in Cancun that everyone.
This is just at the ApolloHOU.store. We have our Space Helmet World Champs 2022 shirt.
Okay.
We also have a glorious another World Champs 2022 shirt. Yeah, we knew it was coming, so we prepared.
I was so worried. Hey. I was absolutely so worried by it when Josh.
So worried about jinxes. We were like just terrified.
The best part about this World Series is it's the most satisfying. Everyone else that does not like the Astros talks about cheating. You can all shut the fuck up.
All the narratives are buried
right here.
I was mad.
Also found at the ApolloHOU.store.
I just went. I think everyone watching, and as you are, smash that like button. But Brian, give us the inside of the locker room. You got to be inside. You got to interview the guys, hang out with the guys. Give us the inside scoop and the vibes from inside the locker room from celebrating World Series.
So we at the game, it felt like going into the 6th inning, you felt something was going to snap. Like you felt like the momentum was building. And then Kyle Schwarber smacks the home run. But even when...
Hold on. Schwarber is just a dude.
Yeah, but he is just a dude. But what the fuck was he doing trying to bunt with 2 strikes?
I still don't understand that.
That was dumb. I will say that was dumb.
But I mean, like, really though, like, what was he doing? What were you trying to accomplish? Are you conceding? You're down at on the road. You have the ability to smack one over the fence and cut it to a two-run deficit, and you bunt with 2 strikes.
I would get anybody else in the lineup doing that, but like he was their only offense. Like he's your choice. Like
they had 3 runs in the last 3 games. After actually, honestly, because I got no hit, so only 2 of the games. They were all Schwarber.
Yeah.
2 of those were so that he had that RBI single. Like, I have no idea what he's doing, but he was a problem. Like, he legit is just, he's a ball player. I think he'd be a great
asset one day. Their clear MVP if they won.
Yeah.
By far.
Definitely not Bryce Harper, who went 0 for 4 last night. But the point is, like, it after he hits the home run, you still felt like things were about to turn for the Astros. 3rd time through the lineup, there's no way that you don't get to Wheeler. And, I mean, look, again, hats off to Wheeler because he pitched his ass off. But he hits Maldonado. Maldonado gets on. And then...
They should have taken him out then.
Right. And then Altuve hits into a fielder's choice. Then Pena with a single. Bregman hauls out... Altuve hauls ass to 3rd, 1st and 3rd. Alvarado comes in, we see what happens. And then the roof gets blown the fuck off of Minute Maid Park. So going onto the field after they won it was a pretty surreal moment for me. I was there in 2018 when they lost to the Red Sox in the ALCS. I was there at Game 7 when the Howie Kendrick ball off the freaking foul pole. And then COVID hit and things happened. We were there for Game 2 of 2021 against the Braves, but they obviously lost Game 6. So going out onto the field, you could feel it, and not one person left from the stadium. By the way, like when they were presenting everything, the coolest moment I think was when the entire stadium was singing "We Are the Champions."
Oh, that was awesome!
And confetti's falling. All the guys are up there. They raised the trophy. You got to see Michael Brantley raise the trophy. You know,
I tried FaceTiming Dez while we were singing that, but
I know
service wasn't working too great in there.
So, and then I get into the clubhouse, and you could hear the music from like down the hall. Like they were jamming, right? So I was like, oh shit, like I got to get in there. So I get in there and I walk in, and it's a fucking party. I immediately see Hector Neris, Rafael Montero, what's his name? Framber Valdez. They're all popping bottles, drowning themselves in it. Corey Lee, David Hensley are wilding out. Bregman's like, it was just guys. The best part about baseball and about the playoffs is when they win and they celebrate, they act like a bunch of kids because this is still a kid's game. So when you watch a bunch of grown-ass men pop bottles and chase each other around in the locker room, popping bottles, like chasing each other, it's like pure joy, man. And, you know, because this game is so hard, and especially at the pinnacle level, they have to put in so much work day in and day out, not just the physical, but the mental and the emotional. Like there's so many things that go into it. So when you get to see them party and act like kids, it's such a badass experience. You watched all the assistant coaches were running around. The clubhouse guys, our guy, what is it, Curtis, right? He was handing out bottles and still popping them himself. Dude, it was awesome. And like I got to interview Ryan Stanek, and he was so, you know, grateful for his season. And I said it like, I asked him, I said, Ryan, you only gave up 7 earned runs the entire season. Like the entire season, you only gave up 7 earned runs and had an ERA that floated around a 1. And he looks at me and he's like, yeah, that shit's pretty wild, isn't it? It's almost like he couldn't even, he didn't even realize it. So great experience. I mean, just being able to be in there and watch these grown ass men all party and all enjoy it. It's just, it's so satisfying to see the Astros shut everybody up and dominate. They lost twice in the postseason.
I also think there's
think about it.
There's a thing where every player on the team had their own moment.
Right.
And it was like, hey, I'm coming in, I'm going to do my job. And it worked. And I think the formula is there. And I think everyone's in the league's going to try to replicate this, and they can't. But also, Dusty Baker finally got his World Series championship. And he managed the hell out of the playoffs this year. And when the Astros were down 2-1, the Boo Birds and all the narratives were popping back up, and they just put their head down and went to work. And to see his coaching staff mob him like that in the dugout, was pretty damn cool and pretty damn special. And then, like you said, Brian, he was just a kid in the locker room as well, having a great time, ready to party. We've been fortunate to hang out and be with him, and like, he is the life of the party, and I'm just ecstatically happy for him because he finally got the one thing that he didn't have in his Hall of Fame career.
Yeah, that's the thing that I love the most about this whole run is 2 things. One, you get Dusty the World Series title that he's been longing for, and 2, you just shut everybody up. Like the whole cheating thing. Like I know we're still gonna hear it for forever, but now it's like just it's done. It's over. Like shut the fuck up, right? But to see Dusty, when that ball went in the air and Kyle Tucker was running towards it, Dusty looked at it and then looked right back down and went to filling out his chart.
Yeah.
Didn't even watch the final out. Like went right back to charting, and then they mobbed him. And you can hear him talk about in a post-game media availability, he talked about losing in 2002 with the Giants. And that one hurt. And he said, if we would have won that, he goes, I don't know if I'd be coaching today. There was a time where Dusty Baker didn't have a job in the big leagues. Couldn't get it done with the Giants. Couldn't get it done with the Nats. Couldn't get it done with the Cubs. And then he was out of a job. think about it. Like Dusty Baker was not in baseball anymore. Jim Crane comes in, has to do what he has to do with AJ Hinch and Jeff Luhnow, brings in Dusty Baker, brings in James Click. Dusty Baker was the perfect guy for the job at the time. Cool, calming effect, veteran, been there, done that, seen it all. 2020, they don't play very well, but they sneak into the playoffs. They make a run at the ALCS. They lose 3-2. They were down 3 games, almost make a game 7. We saw what happened in 2021, and then now they get the World Series. Dusty Baker's already a Hall of Famer, but this just stamps it even more. And he wants to manage more. He's not done. He's not riding off into the sunset. He wants another one. So I assume he's going to be back.
I think he'll be back.
I think so too. Especially, I think if there was more older people on this roster, and it was like this is the end of the run, I think he'd leave. But why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't he be like, oh, well, I won 1, and I have a chance to win 2 or 3 over the next 3 years? Might as well.
Yeah,
I think in the history of just mankind, dynasties, they reign and fall. But I think this is still the early days of this dynasty. I mean, if you look back to the San Francisco Giants, you kind of knew like, all right, this is probably our last ride. Like with the Royals, you probably knew this is kind of our last ride, like in the mid 2010s. But with this team, they've been able to turn over the roster, save money at places, get the young guys up, and still have a core that had success when they were young, and now they're coming into their primes. And then you have this new wave learning from that and following right behind it. So you just have this like Alabama effect where you're just turning a roster over with just talent. And now you have this pedigree and dynasty and winning culture that you can't replicate that. It doesn't matter how many self-help books or who you money whip to bring into your organization. You can't replicate a Nick Saban. So that's what the Houston Astros are. They're Alabama.
And I think that's a great composition because like Alabama college 4 years, I think that speaks to maybe we aren't here if we bring back Keuchel, if we bring back Springer, if we bring back Cray. I think that's the mistake that the other teams like the Giants and the Royals did is they held on to those guys, and then now you're lugging around old contracts.
Yeah,
and maybe that's the reason why this is continuing, even though it's hard as a fan.
And then you look at the pipeline, and there's still guys that are going to help that didn't get to help. Jhonier Diaz, like he's
ready
waiting
to
to
go.
move. Corey Lee,
Ready
Seth
to go.
Martinez,
David Hensley.
Yeah, David Hensley, Hunter Brown. Like that's your future, and you still have this core group together. So for anybody to say that this window is closing, bullshit. It is wide open.
It's just starting. It really is just starting, and it's going to be a fun time, and just I'm still kind of at a loss for words. Still processing the game last night. Flew back, didn't even sleep last night. Went straight to the airport, 4 a.m. Got back here stateside, and I'm just like running on still pure adrenaline, and it's going to be like that for like the next 3 months until we're at the spring training house in
West
Palm. So, man, it's fun. It really is. I'm just trying to soak all this in and enjoy it. And it starts tomorrow with the parade. There's going to be 2 million people, I bet, downtown.
That's the biggest thing, man, is we as fans can't take this for granted. Like, this game is too hard. These runs are so rare in baseball that we need to soak it all in. Don't take it for granted and enjoy it. And like you said, Des, the parade's tomorrow. It's going to be a fucking shit show, well-deserved shit show, and it's going to be fun. So, and then we're going to be back in a couple of days to take a deeper dive into this whole World Series run, this World Series victory. I know we got to give our dog.
We got to give out our
dog of the postseason, dog of the World Series. I mean, we got all kinds of things coming. We got our trophies. We got a couple of gift baskets we got to give away. We got a couple of gift cards that have a little bit of funds on it. We got a couple of 6-pack of Tall Boys, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. We do have. We got to. Look at that! Look at that cute little trophy. We'll present it. Little tease there. And something we want to do, and I'm just going to put it out in the universe, and we're still trying to map out the logistics, but like a Champions Tour pod, where we get the guys on. Each guy has their own individual episode, and it really it's about them. So we got that going in the pipeline too. But I mean, just also thank you guys for one, getting us to the top 10 in the charts on Apple, but also on YouTube. The views and the comments and the likes, we see them all. It's been amazing. Great feedback. We absolutely love it. Brian's a big feedback guy. He thrives off that. So
yeah,
I'm
love
losing
feedback.
my voice is literally running on fumes. We're gassed over here.
Yeah. Josh,
Feel
ready to get us
different.
out of here?
All right, this is the last time to wrap up the run of the postseason. Just establishing that.
Dude, can you get us out of here? Or
Can
not?
you just, what are we doing?
That's going to do it for Beyond the Diamond podcast here on the Apollo Podcast Network. This is Josh Strohs. We have ApolloDez and LaLima 790 from 790 Studios.
790 from
Just
790.
said my name.
All
That's
right,
fine.
iHeartRadio.
It's fine though.
Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. We'll see y'all later.
Peace.
Love you guys.